All right. I've written a little poem. It's called Here We Am Again. Well, here we am again. Here we yam again. Another year older, another year less clear about what we're all doing here. Another year less wise about the demise of the things we once took for granted, things we all once loved but now am despised. Another year that ordinary folk watched in awe as more and more shrill voices screeched their infected discontent, while ordinary folk just quietly went about their business and shook their heads and laughed as the whole bloody world finally gone soft. While the bin men in Brum went on strike for a crumb and the council was poleaxed by gender back pay, sending social services into disarray, the BBC found a different way to share their vast inherited wealth, a newfound clarity on gender pay disparity. They said, never mind the law, we'll just pay our female stars far too much, and the blokes, they can have even more. Meanwhile, the Paradise Papers showed what we all really knowed, that rich folk like to save money just as much as the poor, probably more. So of course the politicians started to quarrel. Is it legal? Is it moral? So we get more rules, more laws, more loopholes and flaws, and the more complex the game gets day by day, the more that ordinary folk don't know how to play, or who to blame for such things, so the honest go homeless and liars and fraudsters can live like kings. And is it me? Or has everybody started foaming at the mouth? Is everybody's moral compass suddenly pointing due south? As the sneering, virtuous, liberal elite try to crucify the source of every non-PC tweet, and while social media seems to give everybody a voice, beware, in the background, the clever algorithms are silently taking away choice, controlling our posts, editing our views. No more can we trust what we read in the news, but there's still free speech if you say the right things, but not always for them that say things on the right. So don't ever be drunk in charge of a phone, 'cause sticks and stones may break somebody's bones, but nicknames will get you arrested as common sense is once again tested. It's a strange new distortion when the soothsayers are locked away and the doers get off with a caution. But they'll never defeat the ordinary folk, 'cause in the end, my friend, the government are here to tell us what to do. In theory, we're here to tell them what to do. So never let them forget whose money they spend, whose interests and well-being I'm supposed to defend. And what a choice, what a prize fight we have. In the blue corner, a Pisa Teresa, the pound shop Thatcher, who'll never quite match her. So she goes her own way, her own grey way. She may, or she may not. And in the red corner, we've got Communist Corbyn, with his hippie disciples like a pound stretcher messiah, rising higher than anyone ever thought possible without a magic carpet or a magic money tree. His cast iron pledge is everything's free, and the ones who'll pay for it, well, they won't vote for me. And after all, he did win the election, there can be no doubt, because Diane Abbott was in charge of the count. Politicians, bless them, bless the old pigging lot. Them all here to serve us, in case I'd forgot, which they have. And remember the old MFI joke, one loose screw and the whole cabinet falls apart? Well, that's just for starters, because nowadays the mere mention of a hand on a knee in 1983 can wipe out a government majority. So while Labour flogs its false socialist dreams, the Tories, it seems, are staggering round like them lost in the fog. Some see a beacon of light called Jacob Rees-Mogg. Others, they just see gloom and doom. A room full of politicians desperately squirming and confirming lots of ways to phrase their intention not to do what we asked them to do, which is leave the EU. Deliberately frustrating the people's will while bullying Barney waves his divorce bill. But is it a divorce? I don't remember a marriage. I don't remember any bridesmaids or carriage. I don't remember saying till death us do part. I don't remember taking any sacred vows. I only remember the endless rows and an invite to join a dysfunctional club which has since changed its rules. Ah, there's the rub. Meanwhile, over the Atlantic, folk was getting even more frantic as Mr. Trump stirred up a hornet's nest of vested interest. The Democrats wailed and mourned, and hell hath no fury, like a Clinton scorned. So here we am again. Here we yam again. Another year older, another year less wise. We remember the 5th of November, and the moment it's gone, the madness begins, the panic buying, the panto rehearsals, the endless montage of Christmas commercials. Am we really so impoverished? Am things really that bad that the highlight of our year is the John Lewis ad? Anticipation sky high, curiosity is fed, as a £7 million miniature movie reveals a monster farting under the bed. I think I'd rather have a discount instead. Every glossy ad screaming, look at me. I work for a creative ad agency. I'm PC compliant, green and clean, with sustainability, everlasting, and our masterpiece is a faultless example of tick box diversity casting. So please buy our stuff. 15 ads in a row now. Enough is enough. So it's a confusing world for them set in their ways. We've got multiple genders and serial offenders, Hollywood rocked by sex scandal confessors, universities riddled with lefty professors and snowflake students who, in the name of diversity at their university, ban any faces who challenge their safe spaces. They close up the minds, close down debate, while the police tell us now who we can and corrate. But you'll see, there's no need to legislate. There's really no need. For ordinary folk, we live by a different creed. A simple old saying that served us well. Live and let live. And if you can't do that, go to hell. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.